Hi everybody, hello. It seems like an eternity since I've made a video, but I thought I'd just come on and show you the little Flippy Flappy. We did quite a lot of them, I think last summer actually, and I gave instructions then for using what we call in this country A3 paper, which is it's twice the size of A4. And that way then you don't have to join bits, etc. But I think some of you didn't want to buy A3 paper, and I don't blame you. You know, it's expensive, and if you're not going to use it for anything else, why would you buy it? So this time I've decided to show you how to make it with the A4 in this country or letter in the US. I'll cover both, and we'll make a Flippy Flappy and see how we get on. It's just a little one. It's not the big complex one that I've just made. It's just a little one. So I've taken two of my sheets of what were A4. So my A4 measures 8 1/4. So I've cut these off at 8. So that's what you need to do with your letter size as well. Yours will be 8 1/2. So cut the 1/2 inch so it comes down to 8. And we're just going to leave the length as it stands at the moment. In this country, A4 is 11 3/4, and I believe in the States it's 11, but we'll cover that when we get to there. So just take one of our sheets at the moment. I've had to use white because I can't find any kind of sturdy card in anything else, but you obviously use whatever colour you want. So with the scoreboard, I am going to score from the left hand side here where it's 0 to 4 inches and score that down. Whoops, I think I went a bit off the rails there. Oh dear. So I've scored that. I've given it a good scoring at 4 inches, then at 4 1/2. Ooh, been a bit keen today. 4 1/2, then 4 inches further on from there. So that's actually, it will read 8 1/2. Okay, so score at 8 1/2. And then again at 9. Right. This is really thick card, so I'm really having to score it quite a lot. There, you can just see the score marks there. So it's, let's get the right way up. It's 4 inches, then a 1/2 inch spine, 4 inches and a 1/2 inch spine. And this bit here is waste, actually. We don't need that anymore. So for the second piece, what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is put a 1/2 inch spine in. So score it at 1/2 inch. Just trust me at this stage. Just trust me. I'm a doctor. No, I'm not a doctor. I should be a doctor of paperology. So that's one score line at 1/2 inch, and the next one along we wanted at 4 1/2. So that's 4 inches beyond the last line, reading 4 1/2 on your scoreboard, and score that. And we just have one score line there. We don't have another hinge, another spine on this side. And then we want 3 1/2 from the 4 1/2. So 1, 2, 3 1/2. So I'm scoring again at 8. Okay. So I'll just go through those measurements with you again. So score at 1/2 inch, score at 4 1/2, and score at 8. Okay, that's lovely. So for the time being, at any rate, that's us done with the scoreboard. So now we need to do a bit of chopping. And it's really difficult this being in white because it's a bad choice, you can't really see it. But we've got our score line here at 1/2 inch, 4 1/2 and 8. And from 8, this piece here is waste. So this is our 8 inch score line here. and this piece here is waste. So let's cut that off. Just where you've scored it. Can you hear how thick that card is? So that's that piece. And then this piece here, we've got 4 inches, 1/2 inch spine, 4 inches, 1/2 inch spine, and this piece here to the right of that last score line is waste as well. So let's cut that off. So get that last score line lined up with your Timmy trimmer and cut that off. Oh yes. Oh, nearly had a nasty moment there, but I'm all right. It's hard for me to see this as well, actually. Is it any easier on that side? No, not really. I think that's it there. I can just see it. Right, so there we are. We've got our 2 pieces of waste and these 2 pieces here. So let me fold them and I'll show you what we're up to. So I'm just going to crease them 4 inches, then crease this spine in here. I hope this card takes a crease. It's pink frog, so it should do. So we've got 4 inches, the spine, 4 inches, and then another spine. So fold that in as well. So this is the first piece that we scored. So we had 4 inches, 1/2 inch, 4 inches, and 1/2 inch. So that's what that looks like. It looks like we've made a box. And then this one, this is the second piece that we scored. So I'm going to score in that 1/2 inch that we put in first, and then I'm going to fold over this little piece that didn't measure 4 inches. Measured 3, if you remember. So what's going to happen is, fold that out a minute. This is going to get, one spine is going to get stuck onto the other spine like that, and then it just all folds up like so. But I think, I don't know how I managed to get that on there. Oh, I think it might be nail varnish. Oh dear. But before I do that, I'm going to ink it, and then you stand some chance of seeing what it is I'm talking about, because I appreciate it's really difficult for you at the moment. So let's give this a proper inking, and I'll come back to you when it's all inked. Right, that makes everything a bit easier to see, doesn't it? So this was the first piece that we scored. 4 inches, spine is 1/2 inch, another 4 inches, then another 1/2 inch spine, and then cut off the bit that you've got left. And that way then it doesn't matter if you're using letter or A4, because you're cutting off a bit on the end anyway, and it doesn't matter how big that bit that you cut off is. So we've got this piece, which was piece 1 that we scored, and then this piece that was piece 2, and we scored at 1/2 inch, a further 4 inches, and then this piece is 3.5, and then we cut the rest off. So all we need to do now is join these 2 spines together, and we've got one whole Flippy Flappy. So what could be simpler? I think even the measurements for this are probably in the group somewhere, but you know, I just wanted to show you how to make it out of 2 pieces of A4 or letter, and you know, thought that might be easier for some of you that haven't got the bigger paper. So I'm just going to lay piece 2 over piece 1 like that. Bear in mind that this does need to move. So you don't want it so tight up there that it's not going to bend. And that looks all right to me. Let's give that a good press down. If I had a bone folder, here we go. So ultimately this piece will fold in there. This piece will fold over there. Let's just crease these in. Like that. And then this piece will fold over the front. And there's our little journal, little Flippy Flappy. But it's missing any flips, really. So what I have done historically with this is I've cut two 3.5-inch strips, and I made one into a waterfall that I've put there, and another couple that I've put, 3 actually, that I've put on the front as Flippy Flappies. So I'll show you how I do those. I might not stick mine on, but I will show you how I do them. So I don't think I've got enough card here, but I'll show you how I do the front ones anyway. We'll deal with the waterfall later. So I cut one at 6.5, one at 5.5. That's going to be a little bit short actually, but that's all right. And then I might get it out of here. Cut one at 5.5. So I've got one at 6.5 so far, another one at 5.5, and another one at 4.5. There we are. And then what I do is round the corners on one of the long sides. So I'm just going to use the 1/4 inch. So round those. Like so. And then, oh, better get my big scoreboard out. I think my little one won't take this thick card. And then on the other long side, not the side that you've rounded the corners, on the other long side, score at 1/2 inch. And same with all of them. So one measures 6.5, one measures 5.5, one measures 4.5, and they all measure 3.5 across the way. So that's those scored. So let's ink around those. Right, so I've inked around mine and folded down the crease. So I've got my 6.5, my 5.5, my 4.5, and I'll show you how they go, but don't get carried away and stick them down yet, because excuse me, you need to cover this first. No, you don't. Once you've got this on, you need to cover it. So yeah, you could actually stick them on if you wanted to, but I'm not going to, because I'm not sure what I'm doing with mine yet. And how they go is like that, buttered right up to this crease there, like so. And then I put the other one, the next one, on the other side, but you'll see as we go, because I will be decorating one of these, at least one. I might do 2. So that goes. It's a difficult one. I know, safety paper clips. That's a good solution to my problem, I think. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. No, they're not going to reach, are they? They're going to reach? I don't think so. Right, so we'll just imagine then. Imagine that's stuck on there. Imagine this is stuck on there. And then you put the other one on the top, like that. So you've then got some Flippy Flappies. So you can then call it a Flippy Flappy journal. But as I say, I'm not going to put mine on yet. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with mine, to be brutally honest with it, with you. But I will show you what I decide as I go along. So there's the Flippy Flappy. It's so easy, so quick, and yet it makes a lovely little journal, actually. So I'll see you soon when I start to decorate mine. So thanks for joining me. Get your Flippy Flappies made, and then you'll be ready to start decorating them. Okay, bye for now.